campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
What we often desire in our relationships is reciprocity, an equal give and take. And from that, we generate harmony. When we have harmonious relationships, we tend to have a byproduct of trust and psychological safety. And that climate, trust and psychological safety, encourages us to do the deposits that lead to harmony, like showing up authentically and demonstrating empathy and being real with each other and listening really well, all of these types of things. Sometimes what can happen in the workplace is we can be extremely demanding of this reciprocity. And we must have it. We must have harmony in order for us to do things like empathy and authenticity. However, in a workplace, we won't always have that depth of relationship reciprocity. And we have to learn how to be able to show up professionally in those spaces. Actively choose to use empathy, actively choose to deposit so that trust and psychological safety can exist. Because without those things, we don't work well together. We can't solve problems and innovate and move forward. So we have to ask ourselves the question, am I being too demanding of the type of relationship I require in the workplace in order for me to show up as a professional?
Wow. Heavy stuff. The VOR, hour number 2, live, KBLA Talk 1580. We on fire tonight. I want somebody to deposit grace in my spirit. Forgiveness, understanding, nurturing, empathy. And I want to deposit those very same things. Presence. I want to deposit exactly those things as well. I have to be honest, though. You know, life be lifing, right? And sometimes we begin, listen to how I'm about to frame what I'm saying. Sometimes we begin to think our deposits are running low. The universe is vibrational and frequency based. Change the vibration, change the frequency. Somebody in the chat room just asked, how do you know when to call it quits? Everybody, get your pen and pad out right now. I'm about to give you the secret for when to walk away. Are you ready? Is everybody ready for this? Here's the secret for when to leave. When you heal. when you change. See, here's the thing. You say, what are you talking about, Zoe? The breakups you had with people you thought were your friends that were facilitated by your personal growth were what? Organic breakups. Those people just fell off. You didn't have to have an argument or a conversation. They invited themselves out because you changed. When you start to change, I'm telling you, that breakup process is easy. When you grow, when you heal, when you start taking accountability of self, when you say, you know what? I allow a lot of things. I let a lot of stuff go, right? When you change, when you heal, breakups become exceedingly easier. I promise you. All you got to do is change. All you got to do is heal. All you got to do is get better. All you have to do is take accountability and take control of what is yours to control. If that's your perspective, boom. Right? It's going to go the way it's supposed to go after that. Trust me. If you're allowing your attachment wounds to make relationship decisions, 9 times out of 10, you're going to hang on probably longer than you should. And trust me, I know this from experience. 1-800-920-1580. Atala, get back in here and make your final thought.
Alrighty, real quick. So my final thought. I think it would do us all really good if we practice the law of assumption.
Yes.
Meaning that you expect someone to pour into you in the ways that you described. You expect those deposits. You look for those deposits in your everyday. And I think that would help a lot of us because chances are you are receiving deposits of that nature in some sort of way, right? You're still kicking. You're still here. You still have life force within you. So
the works of Neville Goddard, right?
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yes. The law of assumption.
But I would add one caveat to that.
Mm-hmm.
Apply the law of assumption to human nature, to the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? Assume your partner will disappoint you. And see, nobody wants to put that part of it on there. We tend to assume, I'm going to assume I won the lottery. I'm going to assume that I got a new car. I'm going to assume that I got a new... We assume, we'll apply the law of assumption for things we want. But remember Krishnamurti, the pursuit of pleasure is also the pursuit of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Correct.
We never say, you know what, I'm going to apply the law of assumption to my relationship. I'm going to be able to get through anything that we go through because I'm dealing with a human being. How about that?
Yeah. Well, okay, so is that assumption or is that acceptance? To me, that would be...
But I think the law of assumption is accepting a reality that hasn't happened yet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm saying this only because I think people expect the worst a lot of times, and I'm one of those people. And not to be the fatalistic part.
But I'm not asking people to catastrophize it. I'm simply saying there are going to be moments where my partner disappoints me. I would be a fool to think otherwise, right?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Part of the human condition. Girl, I love sparring with you. Atala, guess what you just did?
All right, Houston in the building.
Yeah, Houston, Texas in the building. We on fire tonight. Phone lines is cracking. We got Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. Get in here.
Hey, Zoe. Hey, everyone.
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? And then I'm going to Nikki from the SIP.
Great topic. So earlier, I just want some clarity, but you said something else. You said that people cannot take from us what we don't give them or allow them to take. I'm trying to get clarity on that.
Atala, yes, Atala kind of covered that when she used the Pavlovian dog analogy. Pavlov's dog. Again, we condition people on how to treat us. Just like Pavlov's dog. So a lot of times the takers in our lives are conditioned by us to take from us. So sometimes we have to stop co-signing their taking from us, right? Because, you know, when a person is taking from us, some of us may recontextualize that to mean, oh, they need me, or I'm here to support them, and I'm more than willing to give to them, right? But once you recognize that it is a one-way deal and it's transactional, then you have to ask yourself, why am I here and why am I consistently giving to somebody who doesn't appreciate, who doesn't respect it? Well, they're never going to change based on me giving them something. So, you know, why am I still doing it? Again, in a lot of ways, we condition them to come to us because we always show up when they need it. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I just have one quick question. You said that, and you've said this before, that we should not expect or have expectations in our relationships.
No.
I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking for clarity, though.
Okay, all right.
You said something like that, but I know you'll correct me. But so are you saying that if we are not supposed to have expectations, if I'm wrong, you'll correct me, are we just supposed to organically experience our relationships?
So I never said we're not supposed to have expectations. I'm saying the expectations can't be inflexible. They can't be so rigid that if you don't get what you're expecting, everything goes to hell. That's what I'm saying. You have to have some level of pliability in your expectation. Your expectations has to scale upward. Now, if they're just set in stone, locked in, you're going to have a problem when you don't get what you expect. And then I also made it clear, don't date a potential outcome. Date a person. No one wants to feel used. Don't date an outcome. Dating an expectation is dating an outcome. And many times people get into a relationship and say, you fit the bill. No, date a person. Date a human being. Don't just date an outcome, which is tied to an expectation. Do you see?
Yeah, I do.
Now, you can have an expectation for a person, but guess what? You can lead a horse to water, but what?
You can't
make them drink, right? So you can have an expectation for the relationship, and you can have a partner that is willing to work with you, but if you guys don't hit all the benchmarks of those expectations, but you got close to some, isn't there something in that working together that would bring some level of satisfaction? For many people, it's the journey and not the destination. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right. I hope I answered your questions.
You did.
Girl, I love you. Now, guess what? Guess what you just did?
I brought Jacksonville, Florida into the building.
Jacksonville, Florida is in the building. We all over the nation. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the deal. Please call me, 1-800-920-1580. Join this national discussion. When we come forward, food for thought.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying Black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Baby girl a message saying I won't be coming home. I'd rather be alone. She doesn't fully understand me, 'cause I'd rather leave than to cheat. If she give me some time, I can be the man she needs. But there's a lot of lust inside of me, and we've been together since our teenage years. I really don't mean hurt her, but I need some time to be alone. But when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad now that I wanna leave. She's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? I just need time to see where I wanna be, where I wanna be.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is compromise versus sacrifice. I'm not a big fan of compromise, especially in the context of romantic relationships. When I think about compromise, I think two people not getting what they want. While this might not be how it's supposed to work, it's often how it does work in practice. In a lot of relationships, compromise is a way of keeping score about unhappiness. It kind of goes like this. Well, I don't really want to spend next Saturday with your parents, but you really want me to be there. So I'll agree to be unhappy for your sake in this case, And that earns me the right to expect that you'll agree to be unhappy for my sake at some future date, when I want you to do something that you don't.
Pause it. Let me tell you why he's right. And I know a lot of people, that ain't right. Let me tell you why he's right. Because most people are not dealing with an elevated consciousness. Do you understand what I'm saying? Most people are not dealing with an elevated consciousness. Most people are greedy. Most people are selfish. Most people don't want to go see the in-laws. Most people don't want to be around them. Most people think being with their partner, going to do stuff like that is an inconvenience. And it's unfortunate. This is why so many people have said, hey, man, what do you think of Kevin Samuels? I say this all the time. Kevin Samuels, God rest the dead, God bless the dead. Kevin Samuels was the 48 laws of power for relationships. He was teaching Machiavellian type relationships. This is how you maintain your power. This is how you don't get played. Superficials dress like this. Have this amount of money, this credit score. And all of that stuff is fine for society. 100%. I never disagree. I was like, that's social game rules right there. That's the game. And I understand what he was talking about. Was he harsh? Was he condescending? Was he borderline disrespectful? Sure. However, he was talking about relationships at a societal level. And if we go back to the works of Dr. David R. Hawking, the author of Power versus Force, the hidden determinants of human behavior, when he created his consciousness scale from 0 to 1,000. 1,000 is enlightenment, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, right? 1,000. But down at the bottom is grief and shame and apathy. He says, you know what? The majority of human beings on the planet Earth have been calibrated at the consciousness level of fear. That goes back to Dr. Delana Zimmerman. She's sitting in the chair. She says, I'm not in love with you. I'm in fear with you. So I can't really argue what Dr. Taraban is saying right here. Dr. Orion Taraban. That's what he's saying, basically. Go ahead, back to the clip.
Both participants increasingly spend their time doing things that half the couple doesn't want to do. And I'm not entirely sure how such an arrangement ultimately serves the individuals in that relationship. So I'm not a big fan of compromise for this reason. On the other hand, I am a big fan of sacrifice. The difference between compromise and sacrifice is that in a compromise, you expect something from your partner in return for your compliance, namely future reciprocated compliance. However, in a sacrifice, you voluntarily choose to alter your behavior for your own sake, usually with the hope that you will receive more benefit for yourself as a result of the alteration. Let me illustrate this with an example. So imagine that one day your partner comes to you and says, I've noticed that you've been playing a lot of video games. You play until 2 a.m., you play 20, 30 hours a week, and I'm not sure this is really good for you. A compromise might be something like, okay, if I promise not to play during the week, will you agree to get off my case? Or if I'm not playing video games, then you have to stop going.
I hear you, Andy. Andy is like, nah, man, that's semantics, right? But let me say this. I think compromise versus sacrifice can be recontextualized this way. For many people, compromise, they don't really understand, because oftentimes we tend to compromise ourselves and we think that that's compromise. No, that's unhealthy. You should never compromise the truth of who you are, right? If your partner wants you to be anything other than who you are, that's not a compromise, right? But if I'm looking at sacrifice. I think sacrifice is necessary for the health of, good relationships. If you want to have a good relationship, you're going to have to learn how to sacrifice. And I think what you should learn how to sacrifice more than anything else is fear, ego, greed, selfishness. You understand what I'm saying? You have to sacrifice those things in order to participate in the natural flow of what I'm calling non-transactional reciprocity. Right? I'm doing this for you because I recognized a need. You need, okay, let me do this for you. Or I want to do this for you. And I'm doing it not because you asked me, I'm doing it out of love. Right? Many times, and it's okay to wait until your partner maybe even asks you to do some things. But you should do them. Especially if it doesn't inconvenience you and take you out of your spirit and you angry about it. Just do them. Right? And do them for nothing if you love the person. The whole doing it because I want something like, well, later on you got to take care of me when I get to the room now. You understand? I'm going to run out here and get you them lemon pepper wings you like down there over at the hot wing spot now. And you know what this means later on. You understand what I'm saying? It can't always. You guys understand what I'm saying. Nikki from the SIP is in the building. Get in here, Nikki. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Brothers, though, and the fam. Food for thought.
Always love your food for thought. Let me get out your way.
Once upon a time in my evolving, I strive to get into a place where I was giving all the time, whether that be information, love, hugs, whatever it is. Now, that took a great deal of internal work because we live in a society where we can be taught or learn transactional motivations. But I didn't want that anymore. I understood that as long as the earth remains, there's seed time and harvest. So if I got in the position where I was always giving out seeds, then I would always be in the state where there would be a harvest.
Wait a minute, Nikki. You are cooking, but we up against the clock. You stay with me because first off, marinate on the seed metaphor she just gave you. If I'm always giving out seeds, stay right there. When we come forward, we going back to Mississippi to talk to Nikki.
Never did I imagine that you would play a major part in a decision that's so hard. Do I leave? Do I stay? Do I go? Well, think about my life and what matters to me the most. Girl, the love that we share is real, but in time your heart will heal. I'm not saying I'm gone, but I have to find what life is like without you. But when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so sad.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A bill designed to prevent the removal of historical monuments is making its way through the Florida legislature. A Senate committee approved a measure that would stop local governments from removing or destroying statues. The move comes as the city of Jacksonville continues its fight over Confederate monuments after the mayor removed one from a city park last month. A former Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy has been sentenced to 1.5 years in federal prison after violating a man's civil rights. In 2020, Christopher Hernandez was one of 2 deputies who threw a man in a patrol SUV after he told them to leave 2 young black men alone at a skate park. The victim was then injured after one of the deputies crashed during a pursuit with him still in the back seat. Hernandez pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy in July. His former partner has already been sentenced to 2 years in federal prison for his role in the incident. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton. Payton on your home for 24/7 news, the Black Information Network.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
There's only a few days left for open enrollment, starting at $0 a month. LA Care Covered offers the benefits you need to achieve your health goals. $0 preventive services, 24/7 virtual care and nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, free fitness and nutrition classes, and more. Become a member of LA's most affordable health plan. Get a free instant quote at lacarecovered.org. Have open enrollment questions? Connect with us today at 855-222-4239. Find your affordable path to wellness with LA Care Covered today. Hey LA, save water and put money in your pocket with rebates from LADWP. Start saving with free shower heads and faucet aerators. Then save with every flush when you upgrade to a water-efficient toilet and get a $250 rebate. You can also save on every load of laundry with a high-efficiency clothes washer and get a $500 rebate. That's right, LADWP customers can get $500 rebates on qualifying clothes washers. See all the ways to save at ladwp.com/save.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of
The law of reciprocity means that as you sow, so shall you reap. You know, this is a saying that's around in every philosophical base. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, to quote Newton. You know, the idea that there is always something that is reflecting individual action. The universe responds to individual action. Universe responds to individual action. This is the Vedic saying. And then what does this mean? It means that, you know, you are going to create your surroundings. Your surroundings are here to give you joy and to benefit you and please you and make life happy in every way. You are, the individual is responsible for their own surroundings. We create them. We are in a particular state of consciousness that causes the surroundings to assemble themselves in a particular way. Quantum mechanics also discusses how particles come into being out of a probability function from an unmanifest state into a particle form by virtue of the attempt to measure them. And the attempt to measure them involves a particular set of tools. So depending on what kind of tools you're using to measure if a particular particle's there, the quantum field can read the tools and will respond by creating a particle that is a response to that specific tool of measurement. In other words, there are no particles unless we're looking for particles. There is no world around us unless we're actually expecting it. Everything that exists is a response to expectation. This is the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity simply means that there is a reciprocal interaction between our expectation, our state of consciousness, and the world in which we find ourselves. And so then, you know, the idea that there's anything unjust based on this view of things is actually a fallacy. Now,
Ow! I love it when a plan comes together. Quoting Hannibal from the A-Team in the 80s. Man, that was good. See, if we're sitting here putting most of our energy into complaining about what we didn't get, imagine what happens if we turn into givers. Givers, listen to what I'm saying. Givers without the desire to receive something. The universe is going to respond to the authentic, loving, organic giving that you brought to the table. It's not going to give you a sword. It's not going to manifest somebody to stab you. No, The universe is going to give you what you gave. Or let me say it another way. The universe is going to give you what you are. Oh no, it's not. That it don't work that way. Yes, it does. On a spiritual level, yes, it does. Here's Krishnamurti's take on it. And to discover for ourselves whether it is possible or not to inquire into our relationships. The question is, do we understand that relationship is the mirror in which we see ourselves as we are? All life is a movement in relationship. There is no living thing on earth that is not related to something or another. Even the hermit that abandons the world and goes into some lonely spot is related to the past, is related to those who are around him. There is no escape from relationship. And in that relationship, which is the mirror in which we can see ourselves, in that relationship, we can discover what we are, our reactions, our prejudices, our fears, our depressions, anxiety, loneliness, sorrow, pain, grief. And we can also discover whether we love or there is no such thing as love. So we are together, if you will, if you are serious enough to examine this question of relationship, because that is the basis of life. Nikki from the SIP, get back in here and correct us on this.
Well, if we understand that, as I was saying that about the seed and giving and my desire to plant more of that, one of the reciprocities for myself that came out of that practice was the universe responded. And so when the lows or life be life and then my vibration goes to a base level, I found that I have what I call a hog pen moment where I come to my right mind and remember, wait a minute, I got seed in the ground. There's some goodness out there that I have planted. So it's some goodness that's going to come back. Even if my present circumstance or condition right now isn't experiencing that, it's coming back to me because I've been busy planting it everywhere. So it doesn't have a choice but to come back. And it can make the time in between me being at a base level resonating and it actually coming back shorter. I already told you there are only 4 types of people. They add, subtract, multiply, or divide your life. 2 of them you have to beg to leave. Well, one of the other byproducts of planting those seeds, now love is, I come in peace, is I don't have the tendency to get as many of those 2 that you have to beg to leave show up. It's true. You and it happened, I can't even say subconsciously, because when I was building to this point, that really wasn't what I was after. But the universe helped me learn, yes, it is, because this works. And I would like more of that, please. So when you get to deposits and withdrawals, someone asked earlier, how do you know if it's time to go? The first red flag is if you're thinking about going. Hello.
Uh-oh. Bing, bing, bing.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I suspect there's an exit ramp coming. And then if you should find that because something is driving you to feel like it's time to go, well, you got to get still enough to examine where is that coming from.
Right.
And if you find that whether it's close friends or the levels of friendship that I've talked about, or your intimate relationship, if you're not getting back something that you feel like you anticipated or expected. My dad used to say, if you don't like your results, check your premises. Oh, that has stuck with me. Because his point was, what are you putting out? what are you offering to whoever the person in relationship to you? So it's the expectation of getting something back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the holidays come and you got to go to the in-laws, but you don't really want to do that. Okay. Me and the husband decided early on, I don't like asking him to do stuff he don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just disingenuous to me.
Right.
Like, really? And then I'm supposed to be joyful because he's doing something? No. If you don't want to do it, tell me that.
And then I won't ask.
Right.
Right.
I don't think you're doing it because you want to hurt me or love me less.
Right.
You just don't want to. Okay. That's all right.
We gonna scratch that off the list.
Well, next.
Righteous.
And guess what? Here comes some more reciprocity. Oh, wait a minute. This girl's really different. She doesn't expect me to do stuff I don't like.
She understands me. I love her. Right?
Okay. I might want to stick around some more.
Right. Right.
Imagine that.
Right.
But you know, if you go from inward first, I said something a long time ago about learning how to expose the world to me out. It helps if you go inward, even if at first your motivation is a selfish thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because selfish is okay. I'm just saying, if you're going to get it all.
What?
I mean, I'm just saying.
I love it.
I mean, you know, because first of all, our time here is short, and it doesn't need to be any more unpleasant. And there's going to be stuff that's going to come where, okay, I got to take one for the team. But if I've worked, if I've put in work, if I've toiled enough with me, that I have put enough seeds positive out into the soil of life, I'm going to get more of that back than I'm going to get that other thing that nobody wants.
Man, Nikki, I can't thank you enough, sister. Nikki, guess what you just did with all of those bombs?
I brought the sip in the building. I love you.
The sip is in the building. We love you, Nikki. Oh, my God. When we come forward, we going to Dallas and we're going to Columbus, Ohio. The phone lines are cracking.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
COVID-19 renter protections are ending for City of Los Angeles tenants. Know your rights and these 3 facts. February 1st is the deadline to pay rental arrears for rent owed from October 1st, 2021 to January 31st, 2023. Residential tenants cannot be evicted without a reason or just cause. You have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice from the court. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed. Be protected. Be at home.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation with KBLA Talk 1580.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. The Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is now only $9.90. Plus, free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Monday. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Most incredible, baby. Yeah. I can't see him coming down my eyes, so I gotta make the song cry. I can't see him coming down my eyes, so I gotta make the song cry. Good dude, I know you love me like cooked food, even though it gotta move like a crook move. We was together on the block since free lunch. We should have been together having 4 seasons brunch. We used to use umbrellas to face the bad weather. So now we travel first class to change the forecast. Never in bunches. Just
ladies and gentlemen,
your point of view, 'cause you held no punches.
My playlist is my co-host, but unfortunately, it's not my playlist. Andy been on fire tonight, man. Andy colder than Casey Kasem, man. That's a great DJ right here, boy. Andy gonna keep these records flowing with me. Man, tonight has been great, man. I got a couple of callers. I want to get them in, but you guys got to keep it brief because we're up against the clock. I got to go with Truemonger from Dallas, Texas. Truemonger, get in here.
Yes, sir. I'll keep it brief. As far as deposits and withdrawals, oh, man. It's tough because you deposit into people that you care about, but when they seem to take more than what they put back in, it almost feels like a bad investment. Not to relegate relationships to an investment, but if we're talking in terms of deposits and withdrawals, that's what it seems like to me. Because if they steady taking from you, and you trying to pour in, trying to be your best version of yourself with them, and they take it for granted, you feel like it's time lost, loving on somebody that didn't really want it or misunderstood it, didn't appreciate it. Kind of makes you want to just take out what you have left, close that account, and open up a new one, or save your money somewhere else, or save your relationship money somewhere else.
Right.
And hold it until you're ready to start making deposits again. Yeah, you have to heal from your situations, and most people really don't take time to do that. They'll tell themselves that they're healing, but if you got to convince yourself, you're not really healing. You're not really healed if you got to convince yourself. You'll know if it's real or not when you'll know, and you'll be able to move forward from there.
Man, Truemonger, you already know what it is, brother. I love you, man. I appreciate you for always supporting me.
Sir.
Guess what you just did?
Well, Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. Let's get on over to Columbus, Ohio. Sergio, what up, brother? Get in here, man. What are your thoughts? And remember, keep it brief. We up against the clock.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Zo, first-time caller, long-time listener.
Thank you, brother.
I wanted to say, yes, sir. I wanted to say, it's the first time I'm realizing, 33 years old, that I've been dating my expectations and discarding women if they didn't meet my expectations. It's like a, I would say like a man's visionary meets his my expectations. I don't know who I'm dating.
Keep going, brother. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm not because I'm not taking the time to see who they are because I have this vision of where I want to go.
And what you want, does that make you a taker? You just constantly withdrawing from them? Not giving anything back?
I'm giving, but I'm not seeing who they are, and I realize I'm not giving what they need.
Then are you giving? If you're not giving them what they need or what they value, are you giving?
That's a fair question.
Yeah. I mean, it's something to think about, right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything you do.
So what do you want to do to shift the paradigm? Do you want to show up as your authentic self, or do you just want to show up as somebody that's there to get something? What exactly do you want? Do you want to give?
Most definitely.
In what way?
I want my partner to be satisfied.
But satisfied with what? This is what I'm asking you. Are you showing up as the true representation of yourself? Like you, not a representative, not a mask, not I'm performing just to get to a certain point with her. Are you showing up as the truth? And trust me, man, I struggle with this myself. So you tell me, are you showing up like that?
I think in some regard I am, but I think there's certain parts I withhold on.
There we
go.
And
I can, and though I think I'm being transparent, I think I can be, and one of my favorite words is disingenuous, some regarding my desires.
There we go. So let me tell you this.
My desires.
Let me tell you this, and I'm telling you this from experience. What you hide will soon arrive. Do you hear me? What you hide about yourself will soon arrive. That is the nature of relationship. It's going to call it out at some point. And trust me, man, you sowing seeds of relationship obsolescence. The relationship will break down if you're constantly hiding. Trust me, I've lived in this space, and it has happened. Sergio, you brought Columbus, Ohio in the building. Call me tomorrow, brother. It's my Friday. Up next, you already know what it is, my friend, your friend, our sister, your sister is in the building. RSVP with Jill Monroe. Jill Monroe gonna keep the fire lit. Guess what? Thursday is my Friday. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper.
If you're with me, you're secure.